Hey guys, so this is another update video. This time is for Taron, and I have been testing this guy like non-stop every single chance I get to actually get all the answers for you guys. And I have been hearing a lot of people that have been hating on this hero, and there's a few reasons why he's not performing as he actually should, because yeah, there's a lot of things you have to take into account with this hero, and we're gonna talk about it today. So right off the bat, I'm gonna show you a fight that I had. Me attacking Nefarious. But the main thing is the ending. His ability to actually reflect the damage. That's the real interesting part that I wanted to show off with him. Check it out.
Can you go on?
The power of thunder!
Fire leads us to eternity!
Can you go on?
Fire leads us to eternity! Follow.
So even though I used my blue team and I got murdered by the red team that turns me into green, I mean, that's so unfair. In the end, when he's only focused the damage on him, he reflecting the 100% damage from that did some really decent amount of damage, really crazy amounts of damage. So if you make sure that you fight against enemies that do single target damage, which by the way, that's also going to be shown in the next video, it's going to be very powerful to use Taron on the offense. So if, for example, if you're fighting against, let's see, with a Dritha is going to do a bunch of damage. That's going to be reflected right back at her in that situation. And also Athena, I mean, this guy is blue, and I feel that Athena is pretty much countered by Taron. Pretty much. It's pretty disgusting, pretty impressive, especially if she's +5 there. Pretty cool. So I'm going to show you a fight that from my team on defense in War, I have, if I'm not mistaken, I think I have 10 stacks at this time. So I'm pretty weak, but yeah, that doesn't change the fact, because I made sure that my defense team has a lot of stuns, a lot of damage share, and also when he goes off, maybe he gets extra shields when he goes off from Apollo. So check it out.
Praise the light! Praise the light!
One for all, and all for one! Mushrooming spikes!
Listen to the sound of nature.
Praise the light!
lightning strikes.
Praise the light. Praise the light. Go on. Praise the light.
Heroes live forever.
One for all, and all for one.
Go on. Praise the light. Go on.
Heroes live forever.
So yeah, just exactly how I showed on his preview video. Athena hitting him, she dying, and then hitting again. Yeah, that's gonna straight up murder her right off the bat. Because, yeah, 100% damage reflect. This is a real deal in that situation. And as you can see at the very end of the fight, that player did the damage and then left the fight to actually get the extra point, which is the correct situation if you're not able to do anything else there. So yeah, the reflection is powerful and can be used effectively, and using his own weapon, that helps him actually go off faster, because remember, this guy for some reason is slow, so he really needs to get that mana, man. So, and usually he's gonna perform better if you add him with Alia there in that situation, and having his weapon, because his weapon is going to give him a good amount of mana gain. 75% mana gain will make him fast enough to be competitive in that situation. But that is something that can be manipulated by the enemy. For example, I have been hearing players that are complaining that he dies with Egina, with snakes, and that is actually correct, because with his own weapon, he has to connect 10 to be able to get the shield and all that. And when you're playing with Egina, you're gonna turtle, like connect the 3 stone connections from the bottom. You get a turtle. You're gonna turtle over and over and over again to make the thing slow, and just the snakes start shooting at things. So he's gonna get less shield and less protection in general. So he is gonna go down, unlike Mildred. Because the thing is, Mildred goes off. She gets 50 freaking percent shields right off the bat without any problems there. However, if Taron is +5, it is going to be harder to take him down, even with snakes, because it's going to have double HP. So as long as the team is able to kill Egina as soon as possible, it's not going to be a problem. But if it's a slow team, like slowly and things like that, it's not going to be very effective, and Taron's going to die with snakes. So yeah, you have to take that into account. Good way to actually counter that, it's probably red team. So adding him in a red team could be effective, but he does need the mana. And Alia, so probably 3 reds, and Alia and him. That's definitely something that I can definitely test it out in the future there. Now, some of the things that you have to take into account with Taron is that since he is this way, that he's actually dying easier than Mildred. There's a few reasons for that. And I'm going to jump right now to War to show you the differences so you can see it better. Check it out. Alright guys, so this is our War, and this guy over here actually decided to put 2 taunt heroes in the same team here, and I already faced this, and he died pretty quickly, but there's a few reasons for by the way, Mildred is +2 here, and he is +1, but there's a few things that you have to take into account. First of all, purple in general, most players have the resonance higher than blue in general. Usually blue is the second one, and purple is the first one. So resonance is gonna be higher, cause the way that he dies, it really reminds me when how Mildred died before the resonance system came in. Now that resonance has come in, the higher resonance you have, the more damage prevention you have, and a bunch of other things that you can actually do there. So that's reason number one why Mildred seems to be more resilient, more stronger in that situation than Taron here. In that situation, because yeah, the resonance is gonna, it changes a lot. I've seen different fights of like level 57 and then just level 61, and the difference between that level and another is so it's so disgusting. It changes things so much in that situation. Now the second reason why is, I mean, people have been having Mildred like for ages. So in other words, her actual talents are going to be higher than most of the Tarans out there, and many people are not going to feel comfortable like upgrading that as high as possible. And Mildred, they're not going to be they're going to upgrade her as high as possible without any problems and talents there. And the other reason is, of course, her weapon. Because her weapon, when she goes off, and it's 50% freaking shields, while Taron here is only able to actually create shields with his own weapon. So you got to get his weapon, and it's activated with stones activating there. So if the enemy activates a bunch of stones, he's going to be protected, he's going to get a bunch of shields, and he's going to get mana gain. But if the opponent does not, he's going to get less shields, and they're going to be less mana gain, and he's probably going to... Yeah, most players, if they totally will, they will be able to defeat them in that case. And the final reason why Mildred seems to be more resilient than Taron is that she's purple. Right off the bat, if you play purple, I mean, the only color that can actually defeat you is yellow. And yellow has to have shield breakers to be able to take out Mildred, and that shield breaker is Raphael. If you don't have Raphael, Mildred's gonna seem like unbeatable when you're using yellow in that situation. So yeah, that's the first reason there. So Mildred, after that, every other color is not going to do additional damage to her unless they break the shields, unless they do a bunch of other things, stunning, soul link, and all that good stuff. That's going to work, but it's not going to destroy her straight off the bat. While Taron, he's blue. I mean, he's blue, so the only color that he is going to be strong against, that's going to be red. And red turns him green with Gillian. So, I mean, that's his biggest weakness. He's not going to be strong versus any color, because the color that he's supposed to be strong is going to turn him green. That's going to make him weaker in that situation. So that's going to be one of the biggest reasons why he's going to seem a lot weaker and going to go down so much faster. Because in this meta that have so many Gillians, he's going to seem like an incredibly weak hero because he's always going to be green in that situation. So, yeah, that's the problem with Taron. Sadly, it's not with him. He's a very powerful hero. He's able to actually reflect so much damage and heal so much. And in the correct setup, I've seen a few teams that use Frosted really nicely, and I really want to try those out. And yeah, that does include Karma, which is super fun to watch. I'm definitely gonna try that a little bit later. But for sure, guys, those are the weaknesses of Taron, and that's going to make him seem like he's very weak. However, if you do upgrade him and get him as high as possible and get his own weapon, he is going to perform a lot better in that situation, especially if he's +5. And he's +5, he's going to have so much freaking HP, even if he's turned green, like I showed you in the first video, on the first impressions one. He'll be able to withstand a lot more punishment and a lot more damage, and he is going to be one of the last heroes that dies in the entire team when he's +5. And that's the sad part. That's the sad reality for Taron in that situation. So let's go back and keep talking about him. All right, and finally, the last thing is that I still think that his weapon is the best weapon for him. However, you are able to use other weapons with him. This weapon is pretty awesome, the one for Ganov. It will give him 50% shields, but it's a coin toss in that situation. But the good thing is that you also get 30% shield power if you have this weapon at 90% in level 90. So that's going to actually be very useful in that situation. But it's not going to make him faster, so he will go off really slowly. So that's the weakness in that situation. Other weapons that you can actually give him is, you can give him Malfort's weapon. Malfort's weapon is pretty nice. It is very similar to his own weapon. However, it's pretty much the same, but with more Naya stones connected. So it's you can use it, but it's not the best weapon for him for sure. In general, I still think that his own weapon is by far his best weapon in that situation. The main thing is that to try to make a team that is able to counter Edgina in that situation, that can add and can help him out in surviving more. Adding heroes like Haroth is a good hero because it's actually going to add more shields on him and prevent him from being stunned. I have noticed that for some reason, even if he's shielded, he does get shroomed a lot by Cathbat for some reason. Maybe that's the difference in the update or something. And maybe Director N. Director N at +5 is freaking amazing. Having her next to him because he's gonna be immune to stuns. He will be able to get additional shields, that's what he really needs. More shields in that situation. And of course the Managain and Analia helping him out. So that's his weakness. He's a slow hero though. If he was average speed, this guy would have been absolutely broken. It doesn't matter all this stuff, but since he's slow, he really needs his weapon, and he really needs that Managain as much as possible for sure, guys. So, do I still think that he's a must-have hero? I'm going to say that he's less of a must-have hero now, but I still think that he's a must-have hero, and the reason is that he is still a good hero. You are able to add him to any defense team that you actually want to add him, as long as you add Alia into the mix. That's going to make him a lot faster and a lot more resilient in general. Do try to put him on your third team in War, or your last teams in Summit, because the thing is that you really want him to perform well and not having to fight problematic heroes like Edgina and other types of teams in that situation. So yeah, I do think he's the must-have, but he's not like the top must-haves. I think he's gonna have the same destiny as Mildred, actually, ironically, in my top 10 to 2024, because Mildred did not appear in my top 10 of 2023, and Taron probably will have the same situation, unless for some reason the devs decide to actually buff him even more in that situation. If the devs make him average speed, he's gonna be freaking broken, guys. I don't know. He's definitely gonna be broken in that situation. So Awakenings, I still think that you by far you need to have him at +1 in that situation. This +3 does help him out because he's gonna get more shields, but it is nice to actually give shields to other heroes as well. So this +3 is pretty nice. But the one that is actually gonna make him really broken is the +5 for sure. This +5 makes him so much beefier, even if you turn him green. That's the thing that excites me about this one. For sure. So maybe in time I'll be able to get him to +5, but this +5 it's pretty freaking amazing for sure. But in time I'm gonna get him to +5 in time. So as I said, I still think he's a must-have hero, but it's a must-have hero that is less priority from other must-have heroes in that situation for sure. All right, guys. If you have any questions, if you have any concerns, please leave it in the comments and we'll talk about it. All right. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Have a great day. Bye-bye.